Hello, welcome everyone. Today we are about to discuss a new topic which is double-ended cube. And the prerequisite for this program is the concept of our cube using array. Okay, so I hope you are clear with that concept. What are the two operations in a queue? Then how it was implemented. There were 2 pointers, front and rear. So you should have a clear idea about all these concepts, and only you'll be able to understand this concept. Okay, because the NQ and DQ operation of a queue, normal queue, is same in double-ended queue also. In addition, we are using two more operations. Okay, so if you are not clear with the concept of a queue, kindly make it clear first, then only you come back to this topic. Okay, so moving on to our topic is double-ended queue. So as the name indicates, it has 2 ends. In our normal queue also 2 ends were there. Then in our normal queue, what was the other concept? We used 2 pointers, pointer variables. It is not the actual pointer concept. Still, we are using 2 variables to point to all these locations or to all these array locations. Okay. So we used those 2 pointer variables are front and rear. And I hope you know this, right? So in our double-ended queue, there were 2 operations. Which were the 2 operations? NQ and DQ. And what is the operation of NQ? It is listed in this deck. So it is the short form for double-ended queue is a deck. Okay, and we will be using the array here as a deck of size. In our queue and stack program, what we did in our CQ, circular queue, we used a CQ of a size, right? So like the same, in order to indicate our double-ended queue, we are using the short form deck. So it would be like this in all the texts also, okay, textbook also. So we will be using deck of size. This would be the name of our array in this program, okay? So the operations, there are 4 main operations in a double-ended queue. The first 2 operations are same as that of our normal queue, that is NQ and DQ. So to understand or to recollect all those points, let us consider a diagram. So this is our double-ended queue array deck. Okay, and we are drawing some locations 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, and we used 2 pointer variables, front and rear. And normally we represent this end, the left end as the front end and this end as the rear end. We normally perform the insertion of an element, that is our NQ operation, through the rear end. So whatever variable elements we are entering through the rear end, they will occupy the location starting from 0. Okay, so all those operations you know, right? And this is the front end and this is used for deleting elements, and insertion of elements into a normal queue or a double-ended queue through rear end is known as NQ operation. You are clear with that? Then DQ. What is DQ? Deletion of an element through the front end. So delete through front. Okay. Then coming into double-ended queue, what is the specialty is that we are adding 2 more operations. That is inject and eject. This is very easy to remember. Never get confused. No need to get confused. Through rear end, we are performing insertion, right? So if we are performing the deletion of an element through rear end, that is ejection. We are taking out. Okay? And through front end, we normally perform only DQ, that is deletion of element. And if we perform entering element or injecting element into the double-ended queue, that is known as inject function. Okay, so this is just the reverse of NQ and DQ operation, that is NQ. So you close your eyes and learn the concept. NQ means insertion of elements through rear end. And from that rear end, if we perform the deletion operation, that is eject. And normally we perform the DQ operation through front end. From front, we are deleting elements. Okay. So through that end, if we are performing the insertion of elements, that is known as inject. Clear? So these are the 4 operations in a double-ended queue. It is very easy to remember. 4 operations we have: NQ, DQ, new 2 operations, inject and eject. And inject is the insertion of elements through front end. Normally we don't perform in our normal queue. We normally don't perform the insertion of element through front end. So that is our idea to remember. What was the earlier operation or the existing operation we performed through front? That was DQ. Okay, that is sure. So add an insertion to that side. So anyways, if you are performing an insertion of an element, that would be starting with in, right? So injection. Injection means inserting element through the front end. Or ejection. Next operation is ejection. We are taking out. So already we took the elements out through the front end. But here, through the rear end, we are about to take the elements out. So that is ejection. So these are the 4 operations in our double-ended queue. So I hope you are clear with this 4 operations. Now we will consider each of the operations. Fine? Or each of the operations in detail. And let me remind you, the first 2 operations, the code 4, first 2 operations are same as that of our normal queue. So I'm not going into the explanation of NQ and DQ, okay? Because we have already covered the topic and you have the concept. And only if you are clear with that concept, we can move on easily. Otherwise, it is tough to understand these 2 concepts. If we don't have the clear idea about front and rear, then it would be tough to understand injection and ejection. So first you make that concept clear, and after that we will consider the codes of inject and eject. Okay. So right now you consider the 4 operations in a double-ended queue. So let's consider the operations in a double-ended queue in detail. Okay. So I already mentioned we have 4 operations. Which are the operations? NQ, DQ, inject and eject. So we already know the 2 operations in NQ and DQ. So right now we are about to consider the code for inject, which are the conditions we are going to check and how we are performing this operation. So let me remind you, inject means inserting an element through the front end. Normally through front we perform the deletion, that is DQ operation, and here inject operation means the rear operation we are performing, that is through the front end we are about to perform an insertion. Okay. So for that, let this code be there. Then let's consider an empty double-ended queue. The array representation is that of a queue, and as we are implementing double-ended queue here, we have used the array name deck. Okay, double-ended queue, this is the short form, deck. So initially you consider f is equal to -1 and r is equal to -1. Okay. So let me enter some elements into this double-ended queue. So first we are entering element 10. You suppose first element is 10. So what is to be done in order to insert the first element? We need to increment the value of front, increment the value of rear, then insert the first element. Okay. And as this is inject, we should give importance to the concept, because inject means insert through front. Okay. Through using the front variable itself, we are supposed to perform the insertion. Do you remember in our NQ operation, we are performing Q of rear is equal to item. We always use Q of rear is equal to item, right? Because we needed to implement the concept that we are performing the insertion through the rear end. And here, remember that we are performing the insertion through which end? The front end. Okay. So right now, after entering element 10, our front and rear are pointing to the first location. Okay. And what if I want to enter or NQ the next element? NQ. Okay. We will be incrementing the value of R. We will enter the next element. Okay. And for the next element, simply increment the next value of rear, insert the element, increment rear, insert the element. So like that the process goes on. You are clear with that concept, right? So this is the status of our double-ended queue right now. So in our NQ operation, what was the full condition we checked? The condition for being the Q full, that was rear is equal to size minus 1, right? That is, when this rear is pointing to the last location, we were not able to enter more elements into that Q, even if vacant positions were there at the front, right? That was the drawback of which concept or Q concept, and as a remedy for that concept we used circular Q. Okay, and here the problem is that we are about to perform the insertion through or the inject operation through which end? Front end, right? And right now you consider this array. Right now F is pointing to position 0, right? And is there any option to enter more elements into this queue, double-ended queue, using or through the front end? There is no hope, right? No scope to enter an element through the front end because there is no vacant spaces at the front end. Clear? So what is the full condition, or if the inject is not possible, what is the condition for that? We can say if F is pointing to position 0, then we will not be able to perform the inject operation. Okay, and suppose, so that concept is clear, right? So let it be there. Then consider the next concept, that is, let me perform a DQ operation. So you should be attentive and very careful while we are working with this example. So right now I am about to perform a DQ operation. What is DQ? Deletion of an element through the front end. Okay. So in order to delete the element, it is very easy. Delete element at the front position. Increment the value of front to next position. Okay. Then after deleting the first element into this current double-ended queue, could we perform the insertion of an element through the front end? From this side, can we perform the insertion of an element? Yes, because one vacancy is there, right? And what can be done? What we should do in order to insert an element at this location using the front pointer? We need to decrement the value of front, then we can insert that element into deck of F. Clear? So that is our concept. So if F is pointing to position 0, inject is not possible. Then if F is pointing to any other location other than 0, then inject is possible. And in order to insert that element, what we need to do? Simply decrement the value of F and insert that element into deck of F is equal to that item. Clear? So this is the case we are considering in inject. Then again, if inject is possible, then again there are two cases. What are the cases? One case is this one, that is F is pointing to some other location in the array other than 0. This is one case, that is a non-empty deck, insertion into a non-empty deck through front end. This is one condition. Then another condition is that insertion of an element into an empty deck. In this case, if we perform the injection of element, we need not touch R. We need to deal with only the value of F. Clear? But consider a deck where the deck is empty. What is the empty condition? F is equal to -1 and R is equal to -1. Okay? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You need not consider the position difference and all. Okay? Because right now we are considering only the operation difference, or what are the cases we are considering. Okay? So if inject operation is possible, then we are considering two cases. Like in our LQ operation, what we considered, if insertion of an element is possible, then we are considering two cases. Which are the two cases? Inserting an element into an empty queue and into a non-empty queue. Clear? So if it is the injection is to an empty queue, then what is to be done? To simply consider this case, we need to explicitly bring R and F to this location. Anyways, we will decrement for all the other operation, or for the inject operation into a non-empty queue, we will be decrementing the value of F. Okay, but into an empty queue if we want to perform the inject first. Instead of performing an NQ first, if you want to, any operation in any order we can perform. We can perform inject first or NQ first, but only after inserting at least one element, we are supposed to perform a DQ or eject operation. Okay. So, we are considering two cases, inject into an empty queue and a non-empty queue. If it is an empty queue, insert inject this to an empty queue, then we need to explicitly bring R is equal to 0 and F is equal to 0. Then we can insert the element as dec of F is equal to item. And if it is to a non-empty queue, then decrement the value of F and insert the element into the position, say dec of F is equal to item. Clear? So this is what we are going to consider in inject operation. So coming into our code, first we are checking the not possible condition, inject not possible conditions. The condition for that is F is equal to 0. So in order to remember, when you write this condition, you draw a small diagram, okay, and mark some elements, 10, 20, 30, 40, and you mark our front at this position and rear at this position. And this is not necessary that R should reach the last position. Even if we have two elements in our deck, this is also fine. Because our concept is that if F is pointing to position 0, then inject is not possible. This is the only thing we need to consider. Okay. So if F is equal to 0, then no more injection possible. So inject, you display the message. I'm simply writing. I'm conceptually only I'm writing. Okay. Injection not possible. So when you display the message, you provide the correct syntax within printf statement. You provide printf injection not possible. Okay. Then else, if it is possible. If injection is not possible, then what is the step we are supposed to perform first? Get the element from the user. Okay. So you display the message, enter the element to perform injection, and get the message. Get the element and store that element into some variable, say item or data or whatever variable you like. Store into that variable. Right now I am using variable item. Then next, I mentioned we are going to consider two cases, that is injecting element into an empty queue and into a non-empty queue. Okay. So the first case is insertion of an element into empty queue. So this is, I am writing the comment at this side, but you are not supposed to write the comment at left side because it is not possible. Okay. So whenever you write the comment, you write at the right side. So this is empty case. This is just for your understanding. I am writing at this side. So please do remember that. So first I am checking whether we are performing the injection into an empty queue. So I am providing the condition for empty queue. F is equal to -1 and R is equal to -1. And if it is so, what are we supposed to do? We should assign F is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0. Then perform the inject operation conceptually through which end? Front end. Okay. So, F is equal to 0, R is equal to 0. You provide it as separate lines, okay? But as semicolon is there, there is no problem in mentioning like this. Then, conceptually, dec of F is equal to item. Even though we provide dec of R is equal to item, the operation is correct only. But as we are implementing the inject operation, what is inject? Insertion through front end. So we are implementing that concept. So as the concept is being implemented, I am using dec of F is equal to perform that insertion operation through front. Okay. So that is the first case. Then non-empty case. Non-empty. So non-empty, the else part of this if. Okay. So else, what should be done? You simply decrement the value of F, that is F minus minus. Then, what is the next step? Dec of F is equal to item. Dec of F is equal to item because we are conceptually implementing that concept. So, we closed this F. Then next is close the outer else. Then one more brace is there we have. This is the raise of inject function. Inject function. So is it readable? So you just listen and write these braces, put these braces. Okay. So this is the concept of our inject operation. So once again, I'll repeat. In inject operation, inject itself is performing insertion of an element through the front end, and in this case, first we are checking whether the injection is possible or not. If it is not possible, that is only for one condition. That is if F is pointing to the first location, then obviously the inject operation is not possible. So we are checking first that condition. If F is equal to 0, injection not possible. Yes, that is injection is possible. If injection is possible, again we are considering two cases, that is injection into an empty cube, empty double-ended cube, and a non-empty double-ended cube. So when you draw this diagram, you must draw these diagrams. Okay, along with our explanation, you should draw this diagram and mark this is non-empty case, and this diagram belongs to non-empty, and this is the empty case, and this diagram belongs to, because whenever you try to remember the concept, these pictures should come into your mind. Okay, and if that picture is clear and crystal clear in your mind, it is very easy to recollect or write all these steps. We need not never ever try to by heart these steps. It is very easy to remember once you are clear with the concept. Okay, so try to make the concept clear instead of trying to by heart. Okay, so if injection is possible, then two cases, inject into an empty double-ended cube and a non-empty double-ended cube. If it is an empty double-ended cube, then the condition is F is equal to -1 and R is equal to 1. And what are the operations we need to perform the inject operation? We should explicitly bring F and R to 0. So F is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0. Then dec of F is equal to item. So this is the case where we are performing the inject into an empty double-ended cube. The next case is non-empty double-ended cube. The one and only operation we need to perform is determine the value of friend, then conceptually implement or conceptually write the code. That is, perform the injection through front end. So in the else part, F minus find minus, determine the value of friend, then dec of F is equal to item. Then close all the braces. This is the else of first else part. Then this is the outer else statement. Then last braces that of our inject function. So I hope this concept is clear. Okay. So our next operation is eject operation in a double-ended cube. So you know what is meant by eject operation. You are clear with that concept right now. Okay. That is, eject means deletion through which end? Rear end. Don't get confused. Normally we perform, you just think what was the operation which was currently existing through rear end. It was insertion of element. Okay. So right now we are adding a deletion operation through rear end. So that is not usual one, right? That is the extra operation we are using in our double-ended cube concept. So eject means deletion through rear end. So what are the conditions in order to perform ejection? Okay, that is what we are checking. So as usual, if we need to perform an eject operation or deletion of an element, at least one element should be there, right? So I already mentioned you, whenever we are thinking about deleting an element, you think about having biscuit from a packet. So each time when we are taking out a biscuit from the packet, what are we checking? What are we looking for? Whether there exists or whether there remain at least one biscuit to consume, right? If there is biscuit, then only we will be able to take it out and have it. And if there is no biscuit, will not be, we cannot take it out and have it, right? So that is the case. So always compare our operations with real time examples. Then only it will become very easy to recollect. If we are able to correlate those real world examples with our program, it is very easy to code. Okay, so keep that in our mind. So the first condition, in any deletion, either it is DQ or it's ejection, if we want to perform a deletion of an element, at least one element should be there. So if we want to perform a deletion, you perform or you check just the reverse of that. That is whether that queue is empty or not. Okay. So first we will check whether this deck is empty. What is the empty condition? As normal, f is equal to -1 and r is equal to this is an empty queue, empty double-ended queue. So what is the condition? If no elements are there in double-ended queue, f is equal to -1 and r is equal to -1. Okay. So in this case, we cannot perform a DQ operation. So first I am performing that condition. If f is equal to -1 and r is equal to -1, DQ under flow. Same condition as that of our normal queue. The only difference is that instead of queue, I am using the term double-ended queue under flow. Clear? The next is if the deletion is possible, that is if the ejection is possible, then what are the cases? So like the same cases in our queue concept, here also we are considering two cases, that is whether we are deleting the very last element if only one element exists in that queue or more than one element. Okay, that is two cases. If the ejection is possible in a double-ended queue, we are considering two cases. Just one element. First case is just one element, and second case is more than one element. Okay. So first we will consider more than one element case. So for that, let me insert elements into this queue. So first element 10. So in order to insert that, first we need to bring f and r into this position. Then only we could enter 10 into position. Then this is r. For the next element, I am incrementing rear. Then entering element 20, incrementing rear, and entering element 30. So let's stop with that. So right now, let's write like this. F is pointing to position 0 and R is pointing to position 2. Okay. So right now, more than one element is there. And we are about to perform the deletion of an element through the rear end, that is eject operation. So you just try to delete an element. Which element we are about to delete? Right now, through eject, we should delete the element 30. After deleting element 30, which is the current last element of the double-ended queue, this is 20. So if we are deleting element 30, rear is supposed to point to its previous location. So our operation is clear. That is, if more than one element is there, then in order to delete the element to which our rear is pointing, you display that this element is deleted and you simply decrement the value of rear. Okay, so this is more than one element. And what is the case where we have only one element in the queue? That one element can be at any location. Okay, if in this case, suppose we performed deletion of 30 and 20, then how would be our double-ended queue? R and F would be, so you draw this diagram first, okay, because I am updating it. So suppose I deleted 30 and 20. So in this case, to which location our rear would be pointing? To position 0, right? And let's consider some other example. I am entering 10, so that front and rear points to this location. Then 20, then 30. Okay, so right now, what is the status of our queue? Our front is pointing to position 0 and rear is pointing to position 2. Okay, and suppose I am deleting or performing DQ operation in this queue. Okay, DQ operation. So how would be performing the DQ operation? Deletion through which end? Front end. Don't get confused. Deletion through front end is our DQ. So in order to delete element 10, you simply increment the value of front. You see that difference. While performing DQ, we are incrementing the value of front, and in order to perform inject, we would be decrementing the value of front and inserting the element. Okay. So right now I deleted element 10. So right now F is pointing to position 1. Then again I am deleting element 20 also. So what happened? Right now F is also pointing to this location. So like this. So in the first case, this is also the double-ended queue with single element. where f and r is pointing to position 0, and this is also a double-ended queue with single element where r and f is pointing to position 2. So like the same, the single element case can be at any location in the double-ended queue, because that depends on the NQ, DQ, inject and eject the operations order which the user performs. That depends on the example values, okay, or the operations which we choose in the order. That depends on that order. So this can be at any location, but regardless of the location, what is the important thing we can notice? Whenever it is pointing to single location, the value of front and rear is the same. Here f and r is pointing to position 2. Here f and r is pointing to position 0. So if there is a single element in double-ended queue, then the value of front and rear would be the same. Clear? So in the else part, that is eject is possible. If eject is possible, we are considering two cases. First is the deletion of single element, the very last element in the queue, and more than one element. Okay. So first we will consider the double-ended queue with single element. So in this else part, that is if eject is possible, first you display the message, display DQ of R is deleted. Conceptual implementation, you have to remember. Here we are not displaying like a deck of front is deleted. It's not like that. This is eject operation. What is eject operation? Deletion of element through the rear end. So we need to implement that concept. So we should display the message, display deck of R is deleted, because we are performing that ejection through rear end. So deck of R is deleted. Then only we are checking, then only we are updating the position of rear. So if f is equal to r, that is single element, after deleting this element, what is the condition of this queue? That is f and r would be equal to -1. So we should reset the value of f is equal to -1 and r is equal to -1. Okay, and continue in eject operation in the else part. That is, if the eject is possible, then we are considering two cases. Which are the two cases? Only one element remains and more than one element remains. Okay. So the one element's case I already mentioned. The f and r will be pointing to the same location. So in that, we after deleting the very last element, we must reset the value of front and rear as -1. Okay. Then in the else part, there is more than one element. So if it is more than one element, let's consider the case 10, 20, 30 and 40. So right now, f would be pointing to position 0 and r would be pointing to position 3. Okay. So in this case, in order to delete element 40, what is to be done? You simply delete the element, then decrement the value of r. So this is the only operation we need to perform in eject operation. That is, if there are more than one element, then you simply decrement the value of r. Okay. So r minus. So this is the eject operation. That is in eject. Once again I repeat. First we need to check whether at least one element exists in the double-ended queue in order to perform the deletion. So first you provide the condition f is equal to -1 and r is equal to -1. Then if it is true, you display the message deck under flow or double-ended queue under flow. That indicates there are no elements in double-ended queue. Okay. Then in the else part, that is if eject is possible, then first you display deck of r is deleted. Then again we need to consider two cases. Which are the two cases? Element or double-ended queue with just one element remaining in our queue and more than one element. Okay. Then first we need to check whether our double-ended queue consists of only one element. So in that case, what is our condition? F is equal to r. F and r would be pointing to the same location. So when we consider this case, you draw that symbolic diagram at the side of that code. Okay. See, this is the one and only element, that is F and R is pointing, F and R is pointing to the same location. Okay, so whenever you consider each of these cases, you draw the corresponding diagram at the right side. So if F is equal to R, after deleting the very last element, what would be the condition of our double-ended Q? Our double-ended Q will become empty. And what is the condition for an empty Q? It is obviously F is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1. So if F is equal to R, you set the value of F is equal to -1 and R is equal to -1. Okay. Then else means more than one element exists. So in that case, you simply delete the last element and decrement the value of R. Here, so else R minus. So this is the eject operation in our double-ended Q. So there are, I repeat, there are 4 operations in a double-ended Q. Which are the operations? NQ, DQ, inject and eject. And NQ and DQ, these are the same as that of our normal Q operation. Then in addition, we have discussed 2 operations. Which are the operations? Inject and eject. Inject is inserting element through the front end, and eject means deleting an element through the rear end. So I hope through the algorithm and from the example, you would have got a clear idea about what is inject and eject, and you try to implement that code with a double-ended Q program. Okay, because you already have the Q program in which we implemented the NQ and DQ operations, right? So you try to add these 2 functions into that Q and modify the program in order to get the double-ended Q. Okay, so I hope all these concepts are clear. So try to write the code on your own. Thank you.